don't know if you ever got the fear put in your heart before, but when the fear gets placed in your heart, you just gotta pull over and sit there for a second. Yo, what's up, beautiful people? Asian Mac, I'm back with another episode of BeABlessing Project, and super happy, super excited to be here today. I feel like I haven't sat down and done a for real episode in so long, so that makes me feel really good. It makes me so happy that I'm able to sit down and really speak from the heart about something, that's on my heart. Today, it is December 1st, what the actual F? Okay. I'm like, where did November go? But okay. It's snowing outside. It's the first day that it, actually for real snowed. I almost hit a pole twice today. Put the fear in my heart. So, I don't know if you ever got the fear put in your heart before, but when the fear gets placed in your heart, you just gotta pull over and sit there for a second. So, hi. I said, let me just sit down. Let me just relax for a second, because y'all not gonna get me today. I think I am going to. I shouldn't drive to Starbucks. I'm gonna try to Starbucks. Okay, so I need to apologize in advance for the quality of this video, because I can't record on my phone right now because I need it. I don't have camera, so I'm just trying to make it do what it do. I literally have nowhere to seat this. Anywho, so just came from Starbucks, being mad extra right now. I ordered. They have these holiday, holiday treats. Carry the Merry is what they call it. So I got this holiday latte. Yo, does it have chocolate in it? What is that? See, that's what you get when you. Alright, so I had to hop in my passenger seat to get a little bit more leg room. This latte is everything that I hoped and dreamed for. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not a big coffee drinker. When I used to work in New York, I used to drink black coffee all the time before and during work. And yeah, so every now and again I like to have a little, put a little jazz on it, you feel me? And I did. I'm sorry. Let me not keep you guys here all day. So, hi guys. First and foremost, welcome back to It Was Written Project. I said that already. Happy holidays. I hope you guys had an amazing Thanksgiving. I know that it was probably very untraditional for a lot of us. I know for my family it was. This year we had a very, very intimate Thanksgiving, which sucked, but it worked out. It was still absolutely a blessing. Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday, and it's kind of the bigger holiday in our family. Between Thanksgiving and Christmas, Thanksgiving is the bigger holiday. Christmas, what we did for Thanksgiving this year, that is what we usually do for Christmas. It's just kind of your individual family, the people that's in your household, kind of do their own thing. Even though as of late, the past couple of years, we've done a Thanksgiving, a Christmas brunch. But still, it ain't the same. That's really neither here nor there. All I'm really trying to say is I hope you guys were still able to make the most out of your Thanksgiving holiday. I know that I personally have been eating mac and cheese and dressing like it was a full course meal. Okay, I just stopped eating it on Sunday, which I think I just hit that mark, that it's a time frame that you can eat leftovers. I don't know if you know this, but you do. But it is Thursday, obviously, is Thanksgiving. Friday, the day after, is a given. Saturday, you pushing it. Saturday, you pushing it, and I pushed it real good. Sunday, if you still eating leftovers if you are still eating Thanksgiving leftovers on Sunday, it's a problem. Get offended if you want to. Throw that food out, or just leave it in the refrigerator in a Tupperware, knowing good and well you ain't gonna eat it like we do in our house. At any rate, you guys, this just put that so much better. At any rate, like I said, super happy to be here today. I was very intentional about making the time to do this episode today. I had to be intentional about setting aside this time. Otherwise, I would just be on the go. My hair would be braided to the back. I would have sweats on, just living my Corona life. Okay, which sounds like I'm on the couch all day, but I promise. Listen, COVID got me out here able to do everything that I need to do, looking however I want, with no judgment, with no guilt. All right, and I'm here for it, taking full advantage of it. I don't care. My hair has legitimately been in 4 Nipsey braids this past week, and I love it. This is exactly how I've been walking around. But I said, because of the love I have for you guys, I'm not gonna show up today looking like who did it and what for. So this is my attempt at looking decent. So I am here today looking halfway decent. And because we are nearing the end of the year, I wanted to stop by today. I hope it didn't just get loud. Just cut my car on. Because we're nearing the end of the year, I wanted to stop by to talk about what's happening moving forward. And not just with me necessarily. I wanted to kind of like open up the conversation, generally speaking, open up the conversation with you guys too. Just in case there's like a conversation that you guys need to have with yourself. Maybe there's some necessary questions that need to be asked. Maybe like an analysis needs to take place. Some people don't have a clear vision as to where they are and where they want to be. And I think that that's okay. I made it back home. Episode is all over the place per usual. So bear with the kid. So I was saying, what was I saying? Lord, it's okay to not know, right? Yeah, it's okay to not know. At least you don't know. You can work with that. And also I think it's simpler than you think to figure that out, or at least get to a starting place. I think the bigger issue lies when you don't know where you are, or more than that, when you're in denial about where you are. I think I spoke about this a time before, that it's really difficult to get to where you're going if you don't first know where you are. And we really need to take an assessment of that, take an assessment of ourselves, take an assessment of where we are right now, and be honest. The last thing you want to do is lie to yourself. Because like that saying goes, God can't bless who you pretend to be. Fact. Self-reflection is hard. Self-reflection is hard, but it is so necessary. For me personally, I've had to do a lot of self-reflection over the years. It wasn't easy. Truth be hurting. You know what I mean? And I had to be willing to follow my face. I had to be willing to take steps back, to humble myself, really in order to see myself at both my most raw and my purest state. Once I got to that point, number one, I felt more free. I felt like a great sense of peace, and a lot more things started to seem less impossible. I have to say that I think I've done a really good job this year being honest with myself. I've done a pretty de- I've done a pretty decent job staying true to myself, um, and being intentional not only about where I'm trying to go, but also like the route in which I'm taking. Also, most importantly, being open to new ideas and embracing change. Yeah, I really do feel like a shift is about to take place, and I'm so happy that I've been able to share some of the things that I've struggled with on this channel, um, because as I continue to grow, or as I grow, you get to see the progression. You get to grow with me, um, and that was a big part of the reason why I started It Was Written a Project. Last year around this time, I was living in New York. It Was Written a Project was just about to launch within like the next month, and I really had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea what I was gonna say. I had no idea it was how it was gonna play out. I just knew that I felt very led to do it. Um, as as a matter of fact, let me just grab that journal. I just want to see. Just yeah. I feel like I'm about to prove a point here. 1 second. November. This is not November. December 1st, 2019. This is actually kind of lengthy, so I'm not gonna read it. So let me just take some quality excerpts. Okay, yeah. I kind of just want to make a point and give some suggestions, maybe, from this. I'm gonna take some quick notes. Okay, so I took some notes from that journal entry, and I think that this dog is gonna be the death of me, gonna tie into this episode. So December 1st, 2019. I was talking about a lot of things, but a few of the major things that I talked about was It Was Written a Project, and I was freaking out about the project. I talked about being excited about the unknown, but nervous AF too. This was something that I really liked. I talked about being decisive. I'm not typically a very decisive person. And I talked about making a decision for the year to come, so for 2020. The two things that I dedicated this year to, 2020, was It Was Written a Project and growing in my relationship with God. The one thing that I really wanted this particular year was I wanted to see a transformation in myself. I didn't really give like specifics to that. I just wrote what I felt, I guess. I talked about all these things, just things that I desired that I desired to see for myself and for my life, but like I didn't really like I can just read it and tell that it was coming from a place of like hope more than faith, which is not a bad thing because that was my starting point. You got to start somewhere, which is exactly what I was saying earlier. Don't beat yourself up about not knowing. And keep in mind, I say this to you, but this is something that I've had to tell myself and remind myself. Don't beat yourself up about not knowing, because at least you know that you don't know. You can build from there. And the way you do that is by opening up the conversation with yourself, asking the necessary questions. You know, one thing about me is I am very introspective. I've been that way for as long as I can remember. I'm always talking to myself about myself, dissecting myself. Um, Here, reading this, I didn't have a clear cut vision um, about where I saw myself in the next year plus. Like, I had an idea, but you know, I really couldn't see it, if that makes any sense. Like, I could name it, but I couldn't see it. You know, like when people say that I want to be healthier, like I want to have a healthier lifestyle or I want to be successful, and then somebody will say, well, what does that look like for you? That's what I mean when I say I could name it, but I couldn't see it. You know, on the surface, I could tell you what I wanted, I guess, but I couldn't tell you what that looked like for me. So there was groundwork, you know, there was groundwork that needed to be done, and I knew that. Um, I knew exactly what I didn't know, and I was okay with that. I mean, I had to learn to be okay with that. I legit had to talk to myself, like, all right, A, that's cool. You know, like, that's cool. You don't know that, that's cool. What do you know? Focus on that. Um, and what I was very clear about was it was written a project. I was very clear that I wanted to grow in my relationship with God. Um, and that's why I made it a point. I had to make the decision to focus on those two things only for the year 2020, and really not worry about the rest, not fret about anything else. I started with what I had. I started where I was. I started with what I knew, you know, what I was clear about, and built from there. Now, the crazy thing that took place is, number one, that transformation that I was talking about, it did end up happening. It happened, but it didn't happen on the surface. Not yet, anyway. I don't think that anyone will be able to just look at me or look at my life and, you know, physically see a change. However, sit down and have a conversation with me and you'll probably say otherwise. Um, Watch some of my YouTube videos, you would probably say otherwise. Like, people who know me, you know, or think they know me, people who knew me. I heard somebody say one time, or I read somewhere, I read somewhere one time, if you knew me a year ago, you don't know me. I approve that message. Number two, so once that change started to happen on the inside, I started to get some sight. I started to get some vision. I started to get some clarity. So where before I could just name stuff, now I could actually see it. Oh, I want a home. I have a clear vision of what that looks like. You know, I don't want to work for anybody anymore. That's not far-fetched. Like, I can see how I can make that happen. I desire partnership. I desire love. It has a face, not a physical face. I ain't got no man yet. But yeah, my vision started to become a lot clearer. And third, now that the vision is there, now that I can say this is what I want, I can make a decision and say, all right, this is what I'm going to do, which, by the way, I have. And I am so proud. Three things specifically that I was very unclear of in 2019, I have a clear vision of in 2020. So moving on, or I got a clear vision of in 2020. So moving forward in 2021, there is such a great confidence and expectation moving into the new year, because now not only do I know where I want to go, I know where I'm starting, and you know, only then can I begin like the moving process. Now, I speak about 2021, but I'm actually not big on like New Year's resolutions and stuff like that. I think that if we want to change, we can start any day at any time, honestly. But this upcoming year is significant because it's approaching rapidly, and this year has just been cray. You know, it's been very, like, almost a year. This is December. COVID hit in March, so it's been almost a year since COVID hit. And just considering that, you can see very clearly how quickly a year goes by, and how much can change in a year. Think about all the things that we can do if we just decide that we want to do it. Consider all the time that we think we have that we actually don't. Consider all the people who lost their lives this year, who has so many plans for next year, or even plans for the next day. I don't know why I just laughed. I'm sorry. I guess I just want to say, let that fuel you. A year is a short amount of time, but so much can happen in that time frame. If you are not happy, if you are not satisfied, I feel like I say this in every video or in every episode, but yeah, if you're not, do something about it. And the very first thing that you can do right now is decide that you're going to do something about it. I feel as though I had a blossoming year. I really do. And it all started with me making a decision. So I wanted to leave you guys with some tips, just some things that I feel contributed to my blossoming this year, and hopefully it'll help you guys out as well. So I wrote them down. They are in no particular order. I have them here for you. So, number one is to evaluate where you are, and be honest with yourself. Remember that God can't bless who you pretend to be. Number two is to be open to new ideas and embrace change. And I sub-noted here, just to fall back on what you think must happen. Just kind of like loosen up your grip on your idea, your plan, because it ain't gonna go that way, to flat out. And also, you might be very surprised to see how different your plan is, like from God's plan. So just be open, and that way you won't be highly disappointed when things don't go exactly how you envisioned. Number three. This is three. Number three. Decide what you can do now to start moving in the direction of where you want to be. Then do it. Get out of your head. It doesn't have to be this big grand thing. Do the small thing. Do what you can. Yeah, just do what you can right now. Your steps will be guided if you just act on it. I think that's a big one. You need to build a foundation of faith. That's what I learned for myself. Okay, so this is a really good one. I put here, this might be asking a lot. But dedicate 2021 to something specific, something exciting, something that means something to you. Give yourself something to look forward to, and don't let yourself down. I did that with It Was Written a Project, obviously, last year. I dedicated a whole year to something, which I thought was crazy. I really didn't think that I could do it. I don't know if I thought if I could or not. I was just very committed to it. So I guess I did. I had faith in myself that I could do it. And I'm just glad that I did. I am proud of my commitment. I'm proud that I did something outside the box. I'm grateful for my growth. And it's just dope to to carry out something that you said that you were going to do is super dope. So do it. You'll be so happy you did. You'll be so proud of yourself for doing it. Um, that's all she wrote. I super happy I made it here today. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I enjoyed bringing it to you. If you liked it, thumbs me up. Share with a friend if you think it could be a blessing to them. I appreciate you guys for watching. As always, continue to embrace vulnerability. Continue to share your stories, and I'm going to see you guys when I see you.